Okay, so this is June 2021, variant 1-2. The first question is about completing the square. I always complete the square using comparison. You can use a different method. 8ax plus a squared plus b. Starting with the comparison, 16 is comparable to 16. X squared compared to x squared. Then I have the coefficient of x as minus 24 and the coefficient of x on the other side as 8a. So a equals to minus 3. And so I have 4x. Okay, sorry, I got disconnected. It is given that 16x squared minus 24x plus 10 equals to k by k is a constant has exactly one root. Find the value of this root. When an equation has one root, b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. So b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. So I get 24 squared is 576. 4 into 16 is 64. So 640 plus 64k to 0. 64k equals to k equals to 1. So I am now looking for the value of this root. I can say that the left hand side can actually be written as 4x minus 3 whole square plus 1 equals to k. 4x minus 3 whole square plus 1 equals to 1. 4x minus 3 whole square equals to 0. So 4x minus 3 equals to 0. X is therefore equals to 3 over 4. I could have done this directly. There is an interpretation in this question that might help you, but it's not necessary to do that. That was question number 1. Question number 2 is about transformations. Transformation of functions. Let's see what it says. It says the graph of f of x is transformed by the transformed to the graph of that. Describe fully the two single transformations which have been combined to give the resulting transformation. So I always have a habit of starting inside the bracket. So looking at inside the bracket, f of x minus 1 means 1 unit to the right. And what transformation am I talking about? I have to name the transformation as well. So I'm going to say this is a translation. 1 unit to the right. Then when I talk about this 2 outside, I can say that followed by a vertical stretch with factor 2. Since this is outside, it's a stretch on the y-axis. Let's see what the marking scheme says. It says translation 1, 0, or you could describe it translation 1 to the right. That's weird. Only scores B is not. That's weird. You have to describe it completely. It's translation 1 unit on the x-axis and right with vector. With vector 1, 0. This is the first time that I've seen that in the marking scheme where it says this will get a 0. Okay, then stretch and factor 2, or you could write vertically or y-axis, whatever the case may be. Okay, then it says the curve sine 2x minus is reflected in the y-axis. So there's a reflection in the y-axis, which means that I'm talking about f of minus x. And then stretched by a scale factor of 1/3 in the x direction. So I'm talking about f of 3x as well. Write down the equation of the transformed curve. So I'm going to transform it step by step. I'm going to say that f of minus x gives me what? It gives me sine of minus 2x and my 5 into minus x, which simplifies to sine of minus 2x plus 5x 2x. Then it says a stretch factor of 1/3. So I've got to multiply it by 3. So this becomes sine of minus 6x plus 5 into 3x, which gives me 15x. Okay, I hope that's the correct answer. Yes. That's the answer. You could also have written this is that there's a property from trigonometry that applies, but not necessary in this case. Okay, that's question number 2. Question number 3 says the equation of a curve is y equals to this. The following points lie on the curve. Non-exact values are rounded to 4 decimal places. Find k, giving your answer correct to 4 decimal places. So I'm going to write k 2 minus 3 2 plus 1 plus we have inserted the value of x to find the value of y. I have to find this correct to 2 decimal places, 4 decimal places. So I get 1.2679. I hope that's the correct answer. Yes. Then it says find the gradient of AE, giving your answer correct to 4 decimal places. So talking about A and E. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. That gives me 1.7321. Then it says the gradients of B, C, and D rounded to 4 decimal places are 1.9478. Let me just write this information, 1.9478, C is 1.9975. D is 1.9997. State, giving a reason for your answer, what the values of the 4 gradients suggest about the gradient of the curve at the point E. So I started off with AE, then BE, then CE and DE. I can see that the values of the gradients are moving from 1.7, 1.97, 1.99, and then 1.999. That means that the gradient is approaching to, give me a moment. Okay. That was question number 3. This is actually the part on differentiation that has been added to the syllabus. You won't see this very often, but this comes up like that. Side of 2 in reference to the gradient. This is because the gradient at E is the limit of the gradients. Okay, since it says explanation, state giving a reason. Okay, so I have to give you a reason. This reason lies in the idea of limits. Gradient is approaching 2 because as we move closer and closer to E, the value of the gradient is approaching 2, which means that the limit is approaching 2. This idea of limits. You don't need to know it in as much detail, you just need to know what's happening. It's because the gradient E limits the gradient of the chords as the value tends to E, allow it gets nearer, approaches tends approximately to 2. So yeah, so this explanation is more than enough. The idea is that the tangents are becoming steeper and steeper as we go towards E. Question number 4. This says the coefficient of x in the expansion of this is p. So I'm talking about x power 1. The coefficient of 1 over x, I'm talking about x power minus 1 in the expansion of a different number. So I have 2 different expansions. This is why which is a 5-mark question given that p equals to 6q. Okay, let's try solving this. Let's talk about this first. I'm trying to find a particular term in this expansion. So I'm going to say NCR a power n minus r and b power r. Then my idea generally is to gather the powers of x and equate them to the required power. So x power 3 minus r divided by x power r should equal x power 1. It says the coefficient of x in this expansion is p. Okay, so first I'm going to find the value of r and equate that to r equals to 1. So 4x 3c1 4x power 3 minus 1 10 over x power 1 should equal px. It says the coefficient of x in the expansion of this is p. So I get 3 480x equals to px. So p equals to 480. Okay, that's
आप ये क्वेश्चन समझा सकते हैं वापस से?
अच्छा, ये क्वेश्चन जो है वो पर्टिकुलर टर्म फाइंड करने का है ना। पर्टिकुलर टर्म कौन सी फाइंड करनी है? x पावर 1। जब पर्टिकुलर टर्म किसी भी एक्सपेंशन की फाइंड करनी होती है तो हम कहते हैं कि ये वाला फॉर्मूला यूज होता है। ओके, एनसीआर ए पावर एन माइनस आर बी पावर आर। अब इसमें मैंने क्या किया है, मैंने ये सब फिट कर दिया पहले। a is 4x एंड b is 10/x। मैंने ये सब फिट कर दिया और फिर मैंने कहा कि मुझे कौन सी टर्म चाहिए थी? x पावर 1 वाली टर्म चाहिए थी। जब x पावर 1 वाली टर्म थी तो इसमें से जो जो x की पावर्स थी मैंने उनको अलग से लिखा और x पावर 1 के इक्वल बना दिया। तो मेरे पास ये सिचुएशन आ गई। मैंने कहा बेसिस सेम है तो पावर्स इक्वेट हो जाती हैं। 3 - 2r = 1। तो एक अननोन की वैल्यू पता चली r = 1, यानी मैं r = 1 वाली टर्म ढूंढ रहा था। जब मैंने r = 1 वाली टर्म निकाली तो वो कितनी आई? 480x। क्वेश्चन उसको क्या कह रहा था? क्वेश्चन उसको कह रहा था px है ये। तो मैंने कहा कि 480x शुड इक्वल px, देयरफॉर p शुड इक्वल 480। अब देखो अगले पार्ट में मुझे क्या, अगले स्टेप में मुझे क्या करना है। वो कहते थे कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ 1/x। तो व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू लुक फॉर? x पावर -1। तो इसकी भी ऐसी एक्सपेंशन में बनाऊंगा। मैं कहूंगा 5c r 2x पावर 5 - r k/x² पावर r। ओके, व्हाट टर्म एम आई लुकिंग एट? आई एम लुकिंग एट x पावर -1। तो मैंने कहा कि मेरे पास x की क्या क्या पावर्स हैं? x पावर 5 - r है और डिनोमिनेटर में x पावर 2r है। So I get what? X power 5 - r minus 2r should equal x power -1. ये बना x power 5 - 3r equals to x power -1. 5 - 3r should equal -1. 3r should equal 6 and r should equal 2. So what term am I looking at? I am looking at 5c2 2x power 5 - 2 k/x² power 2 equals to, the question is telling you that the coefficient of this is 1/x is q, which means कि q/x आना चाहिए। q/x आना चाहिए। 5c2 कैलकुलेटर पे बनता है 10, 2 क्यूब बनता है 8 x क्यूब k² x पावर 4 equals to q/x। ये पावर्स कैंसिल हुई तो ये बना 80k² x equals to q/x। तो x x पे खत्म कर देता हूँ, वो तो इररेलेवेंट है, मुझे तो k की वैल्यू ढूंढनी है। p और q का क्या रिलेशन था? p equals to 6q। तो मैंने कहा कि 480 equals to 6q हो जाएगा। q is 80। okay, so I get 80k² equals to 80, k² equals to 1, k is therefore equals to plus or -1. Okay, this question is about finding particular terms। तो मैंने दो particular terms निकाली हैं, दो अलग अलग expansions। okay, next question, functions। okay, this says that the function f is defined by this, it's a quadratic function for x greater than or equals to 0। Find and simplify an expression for f of x। So f of x का मतलब है कि जहाँ जहाँ x लिखा है वहाँ पे दोबारा f of x को लिख देना है। तो मैंने पहले तो ये लिख लिया। फिर f of x itself क्या था? 2x² plus 3 whole square plus 3। सिंप्लीफाई उसने कहा है, सही है। तो मैं इसको सिंप्लीफाई करने की कोशिश करूंगा। होल स्क्वायर लगाऊंगा तो ये बन जाएगा 4x पावर 4a² 2ab प्लस b² प्लस 3। तो ये सिंप्लीफाई भी हो गया। Let's compare if we have the right answer. Yes, that's the correct answer. Then says solve this equation. F of x, yani 8x power 4, 24x square plus 21 should equal 34x square plus 19. Okay, so this looks like a question on disguised quadratic equations. Disguised quadratic में क्या करना पड़ता है, एक substitution लेनी पड़ती है ताकि एक quadratic बन जाए. So substitution में क्या लूंगा, मैं कहूंगा कि u equals to x square. So ये बन जाएगा 10u और ये बन जाएगा 8u square. Now I can put this on a use my quadratic formula, put this on a calculator and find the possible values of u. One and 1/4. So x square की क्या values हो जाएंगी, 1 और 1/4. So x की क्या value हो जाएगी, +-1 और +-half. अब क्योंकि क्वेश्चन ने कहा था कि x जो है वो ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल्स टू 0 होना चाहिए, तो हम फाइनल आंसर्स क्या दे देंगे, 1 and half दे देंगे. Okay. Okay, next question. Points A and B have coordinates this and that respectively. The equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. तो ये तो coordinate geometry. Okay, let's draw a small sketch. Hamisha, whenever you have a question in coordinate geometry, try to make a small sketch before you start attempting it if the sketch is not there in the question. इसका perpendicular bisector है y equals to -2x plus 4. Okay, find the values of p and q. अब मुझे पता है दो unknowns हैं, तो दो situations चाहिए होंगे to solve this. Okay, let's think about this. अगर इस लाइन का ग्रेडियंट -2 है तो इस लाइन का ग्रेडियंट जो हो जाएगा वो हाफ हो जाएगा. अगर इस लाइन का ग्रेडियंट हाफ हो जाएगा तो what I can do is I can construct the equation of that line. I can say that y minus y1 equals to half x minus x1. सही है. y1 और x1 क्या हो जाएंगे, y minus 3 to y minus 6. Okay, now there are various ways to do this question. What I am thinking about right now is that if I have two equations, I could possibly find the point of intersection, and I know point of intersection जो होगा वो midpoint होगा, and if I have the midpoint, I can easily calculate this. Okay, then it becomes an easy task. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this and my original equation simultaneously. So this becomes x equals to 2. So y equals to 0. 2 comma 0. Let me check my answers. Okay, I have the right midpoint. Okay, so I have the midpoint 2 comma 0. So I'm going to say that what I can then do is I can say that the midpoint of 8 plus p divided by 2 and 3 plus q divided by 2 should equal 2 comma 0. So 8 plus p over 2 should equal 2. So 8 plus p should equal 4. P should equal minus 4. Minus 3. Okay, those are the correct answers. Yes. Question number 7. The point A has coordinates this and the line L has gradient that and passes through A. Let's draw a negatively sloped line. Passes through A and has gradient minus 2 over 3. A circle has center 511 and radius root 52. Show that L is tangent to the circle at A. So I have another circle. What I want to show you is that there's a tangent here. So I'm going to say, let's say that this is 5 comma 11, although it should be on the other side. Let me just draw it on the other side so that there's no confusion later on. Okay, let's say this is 5 comma 11. I want to show that this is a tangent. Okay, now there are various ways of showing that this is the tangent. The easiest way is through the gradient. So the gradient of AC, let's find that out first. 5 minus 11 over 1 minus 5, which is minus 6 over minus 4, which is 3 over 2. So since the gradient of L is minus 2 over 3 and gradient of AC is three over 2, product is equals to minus 1. This proves that lines are perpendicular at A. Therefore, L is tangent to the circle at A. Okay. Okay, let's see what the explanation here is. It says solving simultaneously or showing that the gradient is minus 2 over 3, 3 over 2. Okay, and setting that A lies on the circle. So yeah, so I've given you all the reasoning that the question required. Okay, then it says find the equation of the other circle of radius root 52. Find the equation of the other circle of radius root 52 for which L is also the tangent at A. Okay, this question says that find the equation of the other circle of radius root 52 which also has so this is slightly tricky because this question is asking you to imagine the graph of this situation that if there is another circle, then this other circle must be on the other side. And it has to have the same radius. So what I'm going to tell you here is something about reflections. Okay, if this point is 1 comma 5, then there must be another center here. What is that other center? Let's call that x, and 1 comma 5 will be the midpoint of cx. Okay, midpoint of cx. That is what this question is about. So I'm going to figure out the value for x. I'm going to say that it has the coordinates a comma b. So a plus 5 divided by 2 and b plus 11 divided by 2 should equal 1 comma 5. A plus 5 over 2 should equal 1. B plus 11 over 2 should equal 5. A plus 5 is equals to 2. A equals to minus 3. B plus 11 equals to 10. B equals to minus 1. So the center is minus 3 comma minus 1. So the equation of the circle would become x plus 3 whole squared y plus 1 whole squared equals to root of 52 squared. It's a very tricky question without a graph. You've got to draw the graph. Okay. Honestly, there are no marks for the working. Since this is B1, B1, it's just your answer that counts. Okay. Next question. It says the first, second, and third terms of an arithmetic progression are a, 3 over 2a, and b, where a, b are positive constants. The first, second, and third terms of a geometric progression are this. Find the values of a and b. So when you have an arithmetic progression, you use the idea of d. D is t3 minus t2 equals to t2 minus t1. And when you have a geometric progression, you use the idea of a common ratio. So that is what I have. So I can possibly come up with two equations: b minus 1.5a equals to 1.5a minus a. I'm writing 3 over 2a as 1.5a. b equals to 2a. Here I have 18 over a. So I get 2a squared. I replaced b with 2a, and I'm trying to solve simultaneously now. So I get 2a squared plus 3a. Twelve and minus 13.5. Since it says they are positive constants, I'm going to take the positive one. b should equal 24.
सर अगर हम इसमें वो a प्लस डी और a+2d और a वाली अप्रोच लेते तो हो सकती थी वर्किंग।
वो और कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बना देगा। उसकी वजह ये होगी कि तुम व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट इट, तो व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज इंट्रोड्यूसिंग टू मोर अननोन्स b और r। तो तुम्हारे पास मिला के 4 अननोन हो जाएंगे। हो
फिर वो
जाएगा उससे भी
सब्स्टिट्यूट
सॉल्व।
वगैरह करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ वो हो जाएगा सॉल्व, बट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाएगा काफी। जब भी
सही।
इस तरह अननोन्स हो क्वेश्चंस में, तो ये दो आइडियाज लगते हैं, अरिथमेटिक में ये वाला और ज्योमेट्रिक में ये वाला। अक्सर सवाल जो होते हैं पास्ट पेपर्स के तुम्हें नजर आएंगे, उसमें के लिखा हुआ होता है या एक्स लिखा हुआ होता है। तो हमेशा ऐसे करोगे तो ज्यादा आसानी से सॉल्व होंगे। आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू कि दूसरे तरीके से नहीं हो सकते, वो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाएंगे। ओके
यस।
ये देखो यहाँ पे हुआ हुआ भी होगा, ये मेरा तरीका हुआ हुआ है जो मैंने अभी करके दिखाया। let's see if they have the other method. नहीं है, दूसरा मेथड नहीं हुआ हुआ, but you can obviously do it and then come up with answers. Okay, then it says find the first 20 terms of the arithmetic progression. तो पहले मैं अपनी arithmetic progression लिख लेता हूँ। I क्या मेरे पास, so what I have is a as 12, term 2 as 1.5 into 12 which is 18, and term 3 as b which is 24. तो इसमें d मुझे नजर आ रहा है कि 6 है। सम ऑफ 20 टर्म्स निकालना है, तो n over 2 2a plus n minus 1 which is 19, d is 6. So I get 1380. Easy 3 marks. Okay. Don't write on the chat. I can't see the chat. Walaikum Assalam. Okay. Question number 9. This says the diagram shows part of the curve with equation this, and the lines x equals to 5 and y equals to 1. Okay, this is x equals to 5 and this is y equals to 1. The shaded region enclosed by the curve and the line. So the shaded region is trapped between two different graphs. One is a curve and one is the line. Okay, and it's asking me to find the volume rotated about the x-axis. So this has to go around like that. I'm going to rotate it like that. So limits जो होंगी वो x की आ रही होंगी। मुझे ये लिमिट पता होनी चाहिए, पहले मैं ये लिमिट निकाल लेता हूँ। यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, कर्व्स इंटरसेक्ट कर रहे हैं, y की वैल्यू 1 है, x की वैल्यू पता करनी है, तो मैं कहूँगा 1 square equals to x minus 2, x is therefore equal to 3. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be integrating from 3 to 5. How I teach this is I always say that whenever the area is trapped between two curves and you are doing volume, you should do above squared minus below squared. Okay, above squared minus below squared. We know that the equation for this graph is y equals to root of x minus 2. So when I go on and square this equation of the graph, I get x minus 2. I still have to integrate this. What about below? The line below has the equation y equals to 1. So I'm going to simply write 1 squared. It becomes 1. So it becomes an integration of x minus 3. Okay, this integration becomes x minus 3. Let's just verify that's what the question is telling me to do. Okay, that is probably what's going to be my answer. So integrating this gives me x squared over 2 minus 3x, and my limits are 3 to 5. So I get 5 squared over 2. Now there's a pi outside which I've forgotten to write. You write that at the start and you write that at the end again. If your concepts for volume are not built up, please watch the videos separately for volume that I've uploaded. That's going to make things clearer. Okay, this is 12.5 minus 15 minus 4.5 plus 9.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।